Okay, I just want to ask, were you guys able to download the data set? And I hope your workbench is ready. The data set, were you able to download it?
I've not downloaded it. My system is still loading.
Okay.
I joined with my phone.
Oh, sorry. It's fine since we have a recording. We cannot be waiting till forever. So let's just dive into it. So in our section one, that was our last class. It was just the introduction to SQL, and then we looked at basic queries. So I gave a brief introduction of SQL, which is already something I believe you guys already understand that. We look at setting up the workbench environment, and then we look at basic syntax, which is the select, from, and the where. So this were the things we looked at in our last class. So I said if we come today, we're going to look at filtering data using and or in and between, then sorting data with order by, and then limiting results using limit. So I said I was not going to give assignment or quiz in our last class because it was just the introduction. But after today's class, I'm going to drop you an assignment, and I'm also going to get you guys a quiz in our next class, which is going to be a live quiz for all of us. So let's go ahead and then um let me share my screen before I forget like the last time. All right, I guess everyone is seeing my screen. So let's go ahead and then
I can't see your screen. Oh,
yes, you can see it. Just give it time. You're seeing it now, right? Are you seeing it now? Let me know so that I can continue. You should take just
I'm not seeing it yet. So.
why? Why is it not?
Or maybe my connection.
Yeah, maybe you can quit and join again. Let's see. Try quitting and join back again. Is it there now? The screen is showing. I just joined using one of my accounts. Let's just continue. Just try and join back again. Quit the class and join back again. Let's see. All right. So we're going right to workbench and then continue from where we stopped. Okay, maybe I should take you guys back a little bit. I talked about creating your first connection on SQL. So we're just going to look at that before we move in because it was in the last class and you guys were not able to go over it again. So I expect you guys to be active with your laptops and be following the procedures so that we will all be together on the same level. So the first thing you need to do is you are not going to use this local instance. You can use it, but I prefer to create each connection for each work I'm doing. So if I'm doing anything, I'm going to create a different connection for that thing so that I'll be able to manage it and be able to know which is where and I'll be able to access it fast. So you'll be having only this local instance. Hello? Okay. You'll be having only this local instance, my SQL 80, and that's just what you'll be having because yours is a new environment. But for now, you're going to go ahead and then click on this plus, and then you're going to give it a connection name. That's just something that you're going to remember or something you're going to just give it something that is unique and you're going to be
Sorry, I
keeping
didn't
going
I didn't
forward.
get the click on word. Sorry, please. Sorry, I had to interrupt. Very sorry, please.
No issues.
Click on what?
Your
Click on the yeah,
is your laptop back all right already?
yes, yes.
Okay.
And you clicked on something, but I
If you
didn't get that
open your
thing.
workbench, if you open your workbench
I've
on
done
this
that.
environment, hello,
Yes, I've done that.
all right, you're going to see this MySQL connections. There's a plus just beside it.
MySQL connections. There's a plus. Been alright.
Are you there?
Which side? Is it left? No, I'm not there. Is it left side or right hand side?
All right, let me start again. This is how it is. If you open your workbench, all right,
Mm.
let me wait for it. It's taking time. I don't know.
So
You've seen it, right? All right.
I've seen the plus.
Okay.
I've seen the plus.
Okay, you're going to click on the plus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A new dialog is going to appear and it's going to ask you for the connection name. So just give it a name. Maybe for this class, you can give it something that you always remember, or something that you just have in mind, just unique. So you are going to just type a name for this. I already have this created, so I'm not going to create it again. So leave it like this. Once you give it a connection name, on the connection method, I told you guys about if it as standard TCP IP. You don't need to change it. All these are other connections method, but these are when you have SQL logins from a database. You can, and the database specifies the type of connection it was used in the database. You can be able to just select the type of connection using this. But for now, you're just going to use this standard TCP and IP. And then on the host name, leave it like this. You're not going to connect to another host. You're using your laptop, and this 127.0.0.1 is your home. That's anything within your laptop. That's it's hosting on your laptop. That's everything you're doing is hosted on your laptop. And this port, leave it as it is because it's allocated to SQL. It's a connection port already. And then your user, you need to, if you created your password, your username and password during installation, you are going to specify your user, and then your password is going to ask for your password. Because mine is stored in a vault, you can see it's showing this. But if it wasn't stored in a vault, there would be a way I'll add my password to it. Don't worry, if you type your password, you see an option to add to vault. So just click on the add to vault. That's if you want to store your password. But if you don't want, just leave it like this and then go ahead and click OK. Once you click OK, it's going to create the connection for you. So that's just it. And once you create the connection, it's going to bring you to this environment again. Go and click on the connection and it's going to open you to the query environment. Are you there? Is everyone there? Is everyone following? Hello?
Yes, you are
Okay.
following.
All right.
But wait, there's a red line underneath my own saying no connection established.
That means you your connection was not successful. You created the connection, but it was not successful. Maybe either your password or maybe your database is not
I did
active
not put
and
any
running.
password down.
Okay, maybe your server is not running. Do you know how you are going to know it?
How?
Click your local instance. Click on it.
You are mentioning all these terms. I don't know what the local instance is.
Okay, go back home, like home where I am now. Welcome to my SQL workbench.
Okay, let me go back home. Okay.
All right. Are you seeing this local instance? This first one.
Local instance.
Okay, the first
Oluwashanu.
connection under my SQL connection.
Yes, I can see it.
All right, click on it.
It's the one I opened.
That's the one you opened. And it didn't ask you
Yeah.
for password.
I did not put password. That's what I'm saying. Can I
During
share
your
my screen?
installation, you didn't set password.
I did not.
Then your installation process was not completed.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I delete this thing and try
Yes,
to
you
set
can delete the
password?
whole installation. You can uninstall the whole app and then install it back again. But we're not going to wait for you. I think at the end you might have to follow the video we're recording.
Me, can't I like just delete only the connection? Must I fix a password?
During the installation process, you're going to add that password. That's the layer of security to the app.
Oluwa.
Yes. So
God of mercy.
maybe after this
Please,
class,
please,
tomorrow,
are you recording?
yes, I'm recording. Maybe tomorrow, if you try and it doesn't work, you let me know. Just chat me directly. I'm going to schedule a class between you and I, and then I'll show you how to go about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I let's continue. We talk about basics SQL syntax, which we talk about the select statement used to retrieve data, and then from used to specify the table we want to retrieve data from, and then where, which is used to state our condition. That's the condition meet for our data to return. So that's just it. That's what we did in our last class. So I went ahead to talk about commenting your code, which is this, and then single line comment and double line comment. So I told you guys how to use both of them. So today we're going to move into something new, which is filtering data with an or in and between. So these are just normal things we've done already in Excel and in Power BI. So we're just going to look at how we can expand more on, and this is more or less of just a coding application. So the first thing to do is to comment your code. Comment your code. Just say filtering data with an or in and between. So this is going to be like this, and then you can go ahead and then let's start the first one, which is we're going to look at sorry, the filtering is all about, we already know what filtering data is. It's just to refine results. So SQL provides additional filtering capabilities using logical operators. So these are our four logical operators, which is and, or, in, and between. So these are just English words. If you think in English, you're going to just understand it exactly as it is. So here is a data set I sent to all of us. So this is the data set. The first thing I usually do when I'm given a work on SQL, I usually open the work on Excel because Excel is more simplified. I'll open the work on Excel, and then I'm going to see how the data is. This helped me to understand the format of the data before I import it to SQL. It's just me. You can handle your own the way you want to, but that's just the best way I try to handle my data. Because Excel is simple, it gives me more way to explore my own data in the best way. So that's just it. So you have seen the data set here. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and then um I talked about creating a database. I didn't. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a database, which is just an English word. So let me just say create a database. So this database is the one that will be importing our table. So let's just say we want to create this database to collect our data and then carry out our analysis. We just go with a name. Okay. So when you say create, you're going to specify what you want to create. This is table, sorry. So we just say create database, and then we're going to specify a name. Let's say SQL class. All right. So if I decide to execute this statement right now, I talked to you about executing. So this statement has already been executed. All right. Can't create database because database already exists. All right. We're going to change the name to, let's say, SQL um, tutorial. So if I execute this right now, you can see it's successful. Mark this output. I talked to you about the output. I said we're going to look at it. It's just open and close. You can see your code here. Red means the code didn't run, didn't execute, and green means it was successful. Yellow means there's a warning. We're going to look at all of that, but we might not encounter warning. But warning doesn't mean it's an error. It's just a warning. And you might get your result. You might not get. If you get your result, you can work with it. If you don't have it, that means you need to go back and work on your queries again. So we have successfully created a database called SQL tutorial. So come back to your schemas list here and then click on refresh. It's going to show you the list, which is SQL tutorial. We're going to scroll down here, see it here. Then click on it and then set it as default schema. Setting your default schema simply means anything you're going to be writing, any query you're going to be writing is going to only affect that schema. It's going to affect only that database. That's just the reason to select a default schema. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and import our data set. This is Pay attention to this because you're going to be importing data set a lot during this course. So you're coming back to the schema and then right click on it and you see table data import wizard. If you scroll down, you see table data import wizard. You click on it and it's going to take you to this window. Here, if you have your file path, you can just paste your file path, but you don't have it. So you're going to browse. You already know where your data set is. You're just going to go to home. I put mine on the home screen, right? So on the desktop rather. So I'm going to scroll down to where the data set is and select it and click open. Once I click this, I'm going to click next. And then instead of using existing table, we don't have an existing table. We can only use an existing table if we created an existing table, but we don't have an existing table. So we're going to leave it as create new table and then go ahead and click next. So here you can see we have a summary of the table. The encoding type is UTF-8. Data can be encoded in many forms, but mostly is in UTF-8. So just leave it as it is. And then you can see the source column. We have first name, last name, department, salary, and then hire date. So you can see the data type of each of the columns. The first name we have is text, last name is text, department is text, and then salary is integer, and then hire date is a text. Don't worry, we're going to work on that. So all we need to do is you click next and click next. Now wait for it to import. This is going to take a little time to import, but it's not so all right. It didn't take much time. So you click on next and then click finish. All right. There was I told you guys about basic SQL syntax. So the next thing you're going to be doing is come back and refresh, and then you can see on the table right now we have the data set right here. If you drop it down, you can see we have everything about the data set. or in a new query environment. So your first command is to to retrieve the whole data set. I talked to you about using asterisk. Asterisk is just all, it means all. We're retrieving the whole of the column from the data set. So we just say select all from. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to say the name of the table or the name of the um schema you're working with. Okay, we have doesn't exist. All right, sorry. So the name is data set. Sorry, that's the name of the data set. You're using the data set, not the name of the schema, because you've already set the schema as default. So everything you're going to do is only affecting what is under that schema. So let's execute this. So you can see we have the whole complete of the table with the name, last name, everything. That means our data was imported successfully. So the next thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at the filtering with AND. So we're looking at the AND first. So AND is just selecting is either A and B. All right. Someone wants to join. It's just it's just between A. It's either between A and B, A and C. So it's just like an in normal English word. So this is how the query runs, and that's the syntax for how the query is. So we're going to, let's say we want to from our data set we want to retrieve let's see, we want to retrieve self-employees who earn above 50,000. You can see we have a lot of salaries here, people with 60, 40, 80, 90, 50. But we want to retrieve people that earn above 50,000 from a single
Hello, mic
department.
check. Moses.
Okay.
Sorry for coming in.
All
Can you
right.
hear me? I
Good
just want to
evening.
check on my people to know how they are doing.
Okay.
Oh, Lara, Esther. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mike, I can hear you.
Hello,
Yes, we can.
I can hear you.
Bonanza. Hello, welcome. How you people
Hey,
doing? How is SQL treating you guys?
we just started yet, so we don't know.
Oh, okay. You just
We
started. Okay.
just started, we open it. And my name is not Finanza.
Okay, please, what's your name?
Fernandez, not Finanza.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Which name did you register with, Seth? Was it Fernandez?
No, Adiwali something.
Exactly, Adewale. So, why change name now?
My name is, the name of my email is Fernandez Onokoya. My full name is Adiwali Fernandez Onokoya. I
Okay,
didn't change the name, it's still the same thing.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. Nice. I wanted
Yep.
to ask for the meaning, but let me not take
Ah,
much of your time. Let me not take much of your time. I just want to be sure that everyone is fine. Esther, this one I've not heard your voice. There's problem.
I've been having connection problems, so I'm joining with my phone now.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, how you doing?
Fine.
Okay, great job. So let me let you guys. Thank you so much, Moses. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. All right. You're welcome back.
Sorry to stop you, sir. Please hope you are making a recording, and I will really appreciate if you can
No,
drop this recording
I'm not
after this.
recording.
You are not recording.
I told you the class is recorded, right? All right.
Okay.
Let's continue from where we stopped. So I said we want to select employees. We want to know the employees that earns 50,000 and above in sales department. We just want to pick one department and know how many people earn 50,000 and above. Maybe the company wants to slice or wants to reduce the salaries of the employees, maybe the average of 50. So we can easily use a query to determine how many employees earn such amount and what are their names, and we can make edits to that. So let's go ahead and see. The first thing we're going to do is we want to select the first name of these employees. So based on our table, we have a first name, last name, department, salary, and hire date. When you're working with queries, please, your column names are very important. If you know DAX, when you're working with DAX, your column names are important. That's the same thing with SQL. But in DAX, you have suggestions. In SQL, you might not have suggestions, so you just have to remember your column names very well. And any spelling error, you're going to get error in your query. So we're selecting the first name and then the last name, all right, which is the column names we're going to select. Then the next thing is we want to specify the table we're selecting all these from, which is just data set. Sorry. And then we want to state our condition. So in our condition, we're going to state the department we want to get this information from, because in our data set, we have a department column. So we want to select department we're getting this information from. So we select it from the sales department, sorry. Look at the spellings also. How is this sales spelled? Because if you spell it wrongly, you're going to get a wrong output. So the sales is spelled with capital letter S. So we're going to use capital letter S, which is sales department. All right, there's something I expect you guys to study in that in Power BI. When you're handling strings or you're handling ABC to Z, you're going to code them with quotation, put them in a quotation like this. If it's numbers, I'm going to show you that. So if it's text or if it's ABCZ, you're going to put them in a quotation. So the next thing is you're going to add an, which is the operator we're going to be working on right now. And then we just say an salary, which is the salary um column. So we say salary greater than 50,000. So this is 50,000. So right, you can see the difference between this and this. We're encoding this, we're quoting the cells, and we're leaving the 50,000 just like that. That's how we treat numbers and alphabets in programming. Anything that has to do with alphabets, you put it in a code. Anything that is numbers, you leave it the way it is. So let's execute the code right now. All right, you can see we have a list of people earning greater than 50,000 in the sales department. These are everyone working in the sales department. That's from our data set. So you can see the result here. We can increase it right now to 60,000 and still get another result. So that's just, let's see, 60,000. We're getting a different result. You can see different results here. We can change it to 100,000. And let's see if anyone is earning more than 100,000. We still have people earning more than 100,000. So that's just how to use the AND operator. Let's leave it at 50,000 for this class. So that's how to use the AND operator, and you are going to be using it most of the times when you want to get result from two different columns or two different angles. That's just it about the AND operator. So the next one is the O. It's just the same English, it's just English language. And O. So O is just making either A or B, either B or C, A or Z, one or two. That's just how it's going to work. So it's the same syntax. In filtering data, we have the same syntax going on through for all of the operators. So let's say we want to retrieve employees who work in either sales or marketing. So we're going to get we're going to get result from both sales and marketing using the O. So it's the same syntax we're going to be using. So we select the first name, all right, and then we select the last name. Sorry. Then we select the last name and we specify where we're getting our data from or where we want to get our result from. And then we state our condition, which is where. And then since we want to get it from from sales and marketing department, these are all under department. So we can just say where department is equal to sales. All right. Where department is equal to sales, and then we use our operator O. Department is equal to marketing. All right. Close it, and then this is it. So if we execute this right now, these are the number of people working in either sales or marketing department. You can use an operator to actually get this also, to either get the answers, to get the result from both sales and department. You can just say where department is equal to sales and marketing. It's going to combine a result from both marketing and sales. But since no one works in both marketing and sales department, that is not the best way, where we prefer to use the O to determine just a combination of both sales and marketing in one place. So that's just all for the O operator. The next one is in. Everything is just English language. This is in, not inside. So it's the same syntax we're going to be seeing through. So let's say we want to get the employees who work in sales or marketing. In is just an alternative to O. All right, it's just an alternative. You can use either in or O. So instead of writing this query, I'm going to just highlight this and then copy this and paste it under here and change this to in. But instead of don't worry, I'm deleting the whole of this rather. So instead of writing this like that, we're going to say sales where department in. We open a bracket and then state our condition, which is we're going to say where department is in sales, comma. You can list everything you want to list in case you want to get more than one department. So you can see instead of using O, maybe you want to select up to 5 departments. You don't have to use 5 O to get everything. You can just use in to get the whole result. So we can also say in sales, comma, in marketing, and then we close, and then we close with this. So you can see we're going to get this whole result. If you're practicing, just take time to observe the last name and the first name. You're going to get the same result because it's just an alternative, and in is used to handle more column names. Okay, someone is raising their hand. All right, Booker, what do you want to talk about? Well, do you want to ask a question?
So, yes, I want to ask you a question. I noticed that with the in,
All
you
right.
put just the department and then the parentheses where you put the sales and the marketing.
Yeah.
Can this same syntax be used for all, or is it only restricted to when you're using in?
All right. It's different syntax. You can see in the O clause, we were able to use equal to. So that equal to was able to use to align this department or match this department to match the sales department. And then we use the O operator also to call a new department and then match it to the marketing department. That's for the O operator. But if you look at the in right now, when we came here, we we omit the equal to sign, and then we use the sales and the marketing using a comma and then using an
Oh,
open
thank you.
bracket.
Okay,
So
my
this is
question
just
is that can we
yeah.
use the
I want to
same
answer your question
syntax?
right now. You can't use
What
the
is it?
syntax for O. You can't use O here, right? Is that what you're asking? You can't use O here. The syntax is just for O. This is for O and this is for in. You don't mix them. But it's the same
Okay,
result you're going to get, right?
okay,
That's one thing about SQL. There are many ways to doing one thing, but the ways might not be the same ways. It's just different ways, but you arrive at the same result.
No, what? Mariah,
Okay, you want to say something
Mariah,
again?
seven of them. Look at the check is clear. Can go in when you can check.
Okay, that's clear, right?
yes, it is. Thank you.
All right. So the next one is between. We want to use between right now to look for. Let's say we it's just to get range. Between is more or less of to get range between. It's either
Finish
between
it what?
1 of 10,
Uh,
1 of 100. Can you off your mic, please? So
take your bread.
we're going with the same syntax, which is
Oh,
don't worry, between sorry. So when you
yeah.
select your first name, can you turn off your mic? Turn off your mic. Select first name, select last name. Sorry, I always get this. Select last name. That's the two columns we want to select. So let's say we want to get a salary of people earn between 40,000 and 50,000, or we say from 0 to 50,000, or we want to say from 50,000 to 100,000. That's just, let's say we want to get. So we just say from our table, which is our data set, right? And then we state our condition, which is sorry, where our salary between. So that's just the syntax for between. So you just go ahead and say between 50,000. You can see we're adding an operator between because we can't use between without an operator. So let's say between 50,000 and 100,000. Sorry. So this should return our value for us. So these are the list of people who earn between 50,000 and 100,000. You can see almost the whole of the data set or the whole of the company earns between that amount. You can limit it to the number you want to based on what the company wants or based on what you want to find out about your data. So that's all for filtering data with an or in and between. If you have any question you can ask before we move on to sorting data with order by. It's just that one is not something, it's just a brief one. Okay, I assume there's no any question. So let's look at sorting data with order by. That's the next thing, I guess. Yes, sorting data with order by. So order by is just a clause, a reserved clause also in SQL, whereby you have seen this in Power BI, I think. Yes, order by, all those things. So it's the same thing in SQL but in a code form. So we just say you try to sort data, you set sorting data with order by. So sorry, this is space between. So the order by clause just allows you to sort the result in either ascending or descending order. You want to get top earners, you want to get least earners, you can use the sorting or use the order by to get your result. So let's say right now we want to get all employees right now, and then we want to see who earns the highest amount in the company and who earns the least amount in the company. So there is, I talked about we're going to be using the select statement in everything. There's only rare cases whereby the select statement doesn't come first, and we're going to look at that in our next classes. So all we do is we select the first name, all right? We select the last name also. And then this time around, we're going to add a third column, which is our salary column, because we want it to display the first name, the last name, and also the salary. So we just say from our data set, okay? And then order by, come on, data set, we say order. Since it's the salary we want to get, you just say order by salary. Okay, here is it. If we're displaying this result now, let me just run this right now. Or let me just give it. So this is how you specify your ascending and descending. DESC for descending. So if we run this right now, we can see we have the highest earners having 119,838. That's it's now giving us the highest earner. All right. Okay, we have 15 minutes to wrap up before we can go to the next. All right, you can see we have the highest earner and then it's trying to order everything, to sort everything based on the highest earner. And then there is ascending order, which is SASC. Ascending is like this, but there's no need for you to use ascending because if you're displaying this result, it's going to by default display it in ascending order. You can see it's just the same thing. So it's going to be like you're just trying to you're just trying to repeat what will already happen. So you see it's the same result. The least person earns 30,000. And if you leave it like that, you get the same result. Same 30,000. So that's just it. So by default, if you're ordering anything by default, it's going to start from the least to the highest. If you're ordering ABC, it's going to start from A to Z. If you're ordering anything at all, it's going to start from the least to the highest, unless you specify whether it's ascending or descending. So we're just going to leave this descending like this because that's what we're more focused on. So this result will retrieve all the employees and then sort them by salary in the highest to least order. So that's just how it's easy to sort data in SQL. So that's all. The next thing we'll be looking at is I want to wrap this before I can create a new link for us to continue. We want to look at limiting results using limit. In Power BI, you have limiting to top 10. In Excel, you also have limiting to top 10, top 5, top 2, top 1, top 100, the way you want. So that's how we're going to be doing also in SQL. You want to limit your results. You don't want the whole data to display. Let's say you have a million rows. You don't want the million rows to be displayed. You just want maybe the first 10 rows to be displayed for you to see, or the first 5 rows so that you can see. So that's just what we'll be doing. And then always remember your comments. So we say limiting results with limit. So the syntax is very simple, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and select. Let's say we want to retrieve the first 5 employees from the employees table. We just want to see the first 5 employees on the table. So we can just say first name, all right? First name and then last name. And we say from, sorry, just data set. The next thing is instead of condition, we're just going to say limit it to 5. Let's say we want to see the first 5. So this is the syntax for you to get that information. You can see we have the first 5 people. If you check the table, you're going to see it's the first 5 people that we have that is displaying it for us. So that's just how to use limit. You can put limit 10, limit 100, the way you want it to be. right? You can see it. So that's just it for limit, and that's it for this section one. So I'm going to listen to questions before we can move to aggregation and data analysis with SQL. If you have any question, let me listen to your question because we have 10 minutes to close this link and open another one. If you have any question, I'm listening.
This the last query you just did, this limit.
Okay.
I'm wondering, okay, is it limiting it based on the previous queries that you had put up, or what is it limiting it by? Is it salary or is it
Okay.
I
I
need to.
I understand where you're coming from. We're going to get there where we can both use the order by and then the limit all at the same time. So this is just limiting the first 5 people on the table. All right. It's limiting just on the whole table. If you open the whole table in Excel right now, right, you can see the first person here, which is Patricia John Mary David. That's for our first 5 people. So it's just trying to show us the first 5 people from the table, even though I'm seeing, all right, it's limiting the first 5 people from the data set. That's all. It's not by salary, it's not by rank, it's not by department, it's not by anything. Just limiting it based on the first 5 people in the table.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I believe there is no any question. So we're going to go to the next section. Let me just introduce the session and then create a new link. We have 9 minutes. So aggregation and data analysis. Aggregation, you've done aggregation in Power BI, you've done aggregation in SQL, and then um, you've done aggregation in many places, I would say. So what we're going to be doing is we'll learn to perform data aggregation using SQL, understand how to use functions for data summarization. So the aggregate functions you already know in Power BI are sum, count, average, mean, and max. These are the five, I think, five most used aggregation functions you ever see or you ever used in SQL in data analytics at last. And all this we'll be looking at them one after the other and how to use them in able to get information from your data. And then we also look at how to group your data. In Power BI, you can group your data. In SQL, it's also the same thing. We can group your data. And then we are also going to look at filtering data using halving. We will talk about how halving works and we'll see how the syntax is and how to use it. And then we'll see how to remove duplicates. That's using distinct to remove duplicates in your data set. This is very important because when you have duplicates in data, you always have bias result. So using a distinct to remove a perfect result. That's just how we will see it. Then we will also look at combining results with union and union or. We might not finish the whole of this section, but we will try to handle it because the last two, the last three, that's having distinct and union all are not that bulk. They're just like the limit and the rest. So we're going to look at that and then it will be the end for this section. So that's just it. I'm going to hang this class because I don't want to start the class right now and then um stop halfway. I want each section to be on its own. So I'm going to stop the recording also. I'll stop the class and then I'll send the link to the group immediately so that you guys can join again so that we can continue from where we stop. So that's just it. You can all leave so that I can create a new meeting link. All right.